Hello, greetings. This is Gilles Mancillon. I wanted to come to you briefly today to speak of a concept, a great big concept, that is the concept of good and evil. But before as far as I can understand it and portray it in a way that can be better understood and integrated. But before, I want to say that the times that are coming, it is important to learn to stay in the void, to stay without having to be able to bring things from the past within your consciousness or project things into the future. For the more we are able to stay within this vacuity, the more we become enlightened, the more we become aware, the more we reconnect to our soul. When this void happens, it is very tempting to fill it up with all kinds of things from the past or the future, but it is something that we need to learn in breathing, simply breathing and allowing this void to be more anchored within ourselves. And so, in essence, there was this book of Jean-Jacques Rousseau, a French philosopher, that's called the Dreams of the Solitary Wanderer, where the whole of society has completely dismissed him, and so all of his fears, his worst fears, already happened. But he still had hope, and so he was dismissed from society. But he still had hope that he could reintegrate it. And as soon as he lost all the hope that he was that he could ever find his way back into society, he found peace of heart and he found peace of mind, and everything became clear for him. For in essence, that is the true state of being. Doesn't mean that we lose our connection to the world and the connection to our life, but the ability to let go of all those projections and all those memories. For in essence, the concept of good and evil is a long time portrayed by many philosophers have discussed that. In essence, in the Bible and in the Quran, it is explained that at the originally, the man was living in paradise and everything was perfect, everything was divine, everything was love, just with the warning of God that not to touch the fruits of good and evil. In essence, before I go through my explanation of that, I wanted to say that as far as I know, the world of matter, the world of physical matter, were not created to explore good and evil. It is because 200,000 years ago, there was a celestial rebellion and this world became quarantined, and then we fall into darkness. And so the idea is that as soon as man separated has invented the concept of evil, separated himself from the truth, from the good, from the goodness, then he started to think about those dark things. He started to talk about those dark things. He started doing those dark things, and therefore he fall from his divine grace, which could be re-attained by the understanding that there is no good or evil. Everything is one. And that is the legend of the Bible and the Quran. In essence, I always bow to my inner presence, to the first source and center, the great universal Father. That is for me the true God. But in essence, I always follow in this universe, in this past, I always recognize the Christ as the Lord of all dimensions. And so I follow His way, I follow His teachings. Although I've been awakened to my spirituality through the teachings of the Buddhism and Taoism, Confucianism. But in essence, the Christ reminded us that about the unconditional love and conditional forgiveness, that the true kingdom of God is within us, and to live in brotherhood. For in essence, there may be a religious problem in the world, but my inner presence tells me that the greatest luminaries in this universe are Allah and Yahweh. And so those beings I've been in contact with them, they've been in contact with me, but I do not know yet enough to fully understand and explain the relationship between those divinities. Yet there is a great plan that is at work, and yet there is problems with those religions that are still being sometimes getting in conflict with one another, and yet I know there is an ultimate plan of reunification and peace on the earth. For that is what I like to see on the earth, and it's also what God want to see for this planet. In terms of what is, there is another philosopher named Nietzsche, Nietzsche in English, maybe it's pronounced, which explore the concept beyond good and evil. It's a very long and boring book, but in essence there is well, he's got, what I mean, he's got some other books that are much more interesting, but in that particular one, is what's interesting that he brings about is the idea that in the name of superior moral, what people believe to be moral, they end up doing all kinds of evil things. And so it is always good to be moderate and not to do harm, for to stay in touch, to stay close to what is true, what is good, and what is real. What can be called good is what does good to ourselves and do not hurt anybody else, or what does bring us joy and bring joy to other people. That can be called good. However, if we do something that is good for us but is hurting many other people, then we cannot call that good. For in essence, if we were to separate those ideas and concepts, that which is evil would be that which is impure, which is heavy, which is and what is good is what is pure and light, and so. But only God can actually use those concepts to educate all souls. And as in the wisdom of the omniscient, He can use good and evil just equally to educate all men. But as men, until we reconnect to that wisdom, we cannot use that power of evil or darkness, ignorance, in order to use it in our process, because we fell into it when we do. And so it is important first to move from the impure to the pure, from the dark into the light. Once we move into the light, we have to reintegrate the darkness, but we see it with the light, with the eyes of clarity, and so we do not fall into it as we used to. And so yeah, also because there is all kinds of ideas that were explored in relationship to that, and in essence, all those things that hurting the truth or hurting justice also can be called create a lot of suffering. And so in order, so we want to stay true to ourselves. Plato explains also at the trial of Socrates, who was condemned to death for something he did not do. He was a pure calumny. For Jean-Jacques Rousseau, in his book, explored the idea of lies, because he had this book I just read. He was very feeling a lot of guilt about this lie he did 40 years ago. So do not. But this was another time. It was the 18th century. Now we do not need to carry out that guilt. Although, and so in this book, there is a lot of interesting things. And one of those things was that he kind of differentiate between a fiction, where somebody that's telling a story, a fiction, which is a lie, but it's not a lie that's going to hurt anybody. It is to bring about it is something that is true inside, that is robbed within something else. There is the affabulation, and then there is the lies that are hurting the truth. For those philosophers, the truth was this abstract concept of the highest moral and highest good, or something that would hurt justice, the sense of justice. And so, and the worst lie would be a lie that was specially created to hurt somebody else. And so, so Socrates explained that within in that situation, that because it was the lies it's because of the lie that he came on trial and he was condemned to death. Says that it's better to suffer injustice than to create it yourself. So it is all relative. Everything is within a relative measure, but within the understanding of philosophy, we are able to have a better clarity and perception on what we attribute as good and bad. For nothing in essence is good or bad. It is all about learning things, learning about all those natures from the dark to the light, in order to return to the sphere of oneness, when there is no more good or bad. It's just one light. For in truth there is only one light. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I'm going to pull a card to see the same card that I pulled in my French reading. It's called empowerment. So it is a time to move into a self-empowerment, to move into your power, to move into your sense of self, and to allow that to unfold, to happen at its own rhythm, without being in a rush to get there, or without to allow those things to come in with the new energy as we built in towards the solstice. Those things will become more stronger and more integrated, and we'll get a new sense of self-worth and self-empowerment. So I'm going to sing a song. I have a new guide for in the music. So sometimes I acquire new guides that help me, assist me in my creative process. And this one is known as Apollon. This is the god of light and the arts. So he's a great archetype, a great model, the highest model I can find to assist me in my creative pursuits at this time. And so in his last message, he wanted me to be master of the 7 arts in terms of painting. I am fairly well developed in that. Sculpture as well, but I still have architecture that I need to work. There is poetry, there is music, there is dance, and there is cinema. So all those things will come about for me as time unfolds. I'm going to sing a song. It's not really a spiritual song, but it's a nice song. I like it. I hope I'll sing it okay. It's called Wild World. Now that I've lost everything to you, you say you want to start something new, and it's breaking my heart you leaving. Baby, I'm grieving, but if you want to leave, take good care. I hope you find a lot of nice things to wear, but then there's a lot of nice things turned bad out there. Oh baby, baby, it's a wild world. It's hard to get by just upon a smile, girl. Oh, baby, baby, it's a wild world. I'll always remember you like a child, girl. You know I've seen a lot of what a world can do, and it's breaking my heart in two, because I never want to see you sad, girl. Don't be a bad girl. But if you want to leave, take good care. I hope you find a lot of nice friends out there. But just remember there's a lot of bad, and beware. Oh baby, baby, it's a wild world. It's hard to get by just upon a smile, girl. Oh baby, baby, it's a wild world. I'll always remember you like a child, girl. Well, thank you very much. I wish you a wonderful day. I'll talk to you later. Namaste.